My go-to methods when I'm doing my winter fishing are high attract pop-ups and little high attract mesh PVA bags as well, and that combination can work really well when the fish aren't feeding too much and you just want a very quick mouthful of bait to get you a bite. So one of my favourite pop-ups to use from the DNA range are these milky malts. Now they're a very high attract visual hook bait that has a real nice scent to them, but you can boost those even further to even add to the attraction even more. And what we use for that is a little pot of the Intense Booster. Okay, so what we tend to do is get some pop-ups. These are your milky malts. Get the milky malt Intense Booster which comes with it, and give that a good squirt in the pot there. There we go. Nice liberal dose of the Intense Booster on there, like so. A bit more. And we're going to give those a shake up just to get a good spread around the pot, making sure it gets right down to the bottom of the pot so it coats all the hook baits. All you need is a coating for each one, so you don't need to fill the pot half full or anything, you just need to coat each hook bait. And then to add to that attraction even more, we use some of the sticky sweet. And this is really sticky sort of stuff. If you get it on your hands it's a bit of a nightmare, but on the hook baits it clings to those as well and then dissolves into the water column nicely once they go out into the lake bed, onto the lake bed. Give it a good helping of that as well. And again, put the lid on, give them a little shake round so they're coated. Now those now are going to absorb that, so it's a good idea to do that a little while before you go fishing. Wouldn't do it just the day you go. Give them a week or two if you can. Ideal, the longer the better really, to absorb that flavour. So we've got our high attract hook bait on there, which is coated in the booster and the sticky sweet, and to add even more attraction to that, we can give it a little dip in this milky powder, okay, which is a high attract powder, which is like feed stimulant, and we give it a little dunk in there just so it coats the boilie, and it gives your hook a bit of a coating as well. It comes out with that lovely bit of attraction around there, so that's all going to leave the hook bait into the water column and disperse around the area. What I like to add to them as well is a little mesh PVA bag, and the little mesh PVA bag with a real high attract mix in that as well, which you can use in combination with your high attract pop-up and your high attract PVA bag. Now to make those bags, what I've got in here is a combination of things. I've got a large proportion of the mix is crumbed up bug, so I've got that in a crusher and crushed some down, so I've got a nice bit of oily crumb and also little bits, big bits, nice bit of attraction there. I've got some crayfish mini mix in there and some beta stim pellets as well, so I've got a nice variety of stuff in there. As well as that, I've got some of the crayfish powder as well, additives, so you can see these little pink flecks, little pink bits of the crayfish powder. And then to that I'll then add some liquid, so in this case I've got some of the bug liquid which I add to the mix to really give it a nice consistency. It's nice and sticky, and also it's obviously adding to that attraction again. So we put a bit in there and I give this a good stir around inside my bait tub so it's spread through. And again, I made these are all shelf life boilies, so I made this in advance, so you can make this and this will sit fine. It won't go off at all because of the shelf life boilies. Obviously if they're freezer baits then they might have a bit more of an issue with the going off, but I use the shelf lives now all the time, so there's no problem there. So this mix will sit and absorb that liquid nicely, creating a really high attract PVA bag mix that's going to complement our high attract hook bait perfectly. So once we've done that, we get our PVA. A few things to consider when you're using PVA in the winter especially is the dissolve time. So I've got this is the winter version, so it's a little bit finer, so it doesn't take too long to melt. If you're unsure of your PVA and how long it takes to melt, then what I tend to do is drop a PVA bag into the edge of the lake and just have a little look and see how long it's going to take. So it just about a golf ball size, maybe a little bit smaller. You don't need a huge one. Just going to tie that up, cut that off, and there we go. So that's now ready to go with a combination of our boosted hook bait. We'll just hook that on there like so a couple of times, And there we go, we're ready to go with a turbocharged hook bait, high attract PVA bag that will pull in fish from all over. So really good method for casting around, roving your rod, for showing fish, that sort of thing, so that you don't have to necessarily keep it in a spot. Fish at this time of year very located in very tight groups and tight areas, so if you land on some, you get that in the right spot, you almost guarantee the bite. So yeah, give them a go. Get some milky malts and a bit of crushed boilie, and that is your perfect recipe for a winter bite.